Hello, everybody. I am Richard Miller, and this is our Sons of American Legion basketball huddle. With me tonight is from our Sons of American Legion radio team is Jack McGurk. Jack, how are you?
Doing great, Richard. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Another fantastic weekend of basketball. Iona keeps rolling right along. Yesterday, they defeated St. Peter's 85 to 77, and Iona is now 18-3 on the season. This was their talk about a hot team. This is their seventh consecutive win. And they've only lost one since the new year. Iona basketball is really rolling right along. Basketball snap streak. 80 to 71 loss. I think it was a very tough game, despite Iona only holding a 52 to 50 advantage at the 11:45 mark. Even though Iona rushed out to a 23 to 15 lead early on in the conference, the advantage quickly evaporated. 8 straight points by Niagara. The margin remained within the possession, but all but one of those turned as the Purple Eagles took a 2-point lead into the bank. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a tough loss for Iona against Niagara. That was their first MAC conference loss of the season. They are now in MAC games 11-1, 19-4 overall. So it's still playing well, but that was a pretty tough loss there up at Niagara. Elijah Joyner, 22 points in the game. Walter Clayton Jr., 12 points. Tyson Jolly, 12. Nelly Jr. Joseph, only 8 points in the game. That's kind of jumps out at me. He's one of the stars of this team, only had 8 points. But tough break for Iona, and they're going to try to bounce back this Friday night at Siena, heading back upstate.
Yeah, that's going to be. It was a time change. Excuse me. It was a time change absolutely on that game. That's going to be a 9:00 game. So that would be so that's going to be very much I think a challenge for them after coming off such a tough loss and having such a good year. Losing a game like this is only going to motivate them, because when you get on a roll like that during the year, you want to keep it going, even though you can't win every game. You have to. I think a team like Iona definitely does need to keep it rolling on during the year, and eventually getting to the MAC tournament, and then of course also the NCAA tournament. It's a pivotal point of the schedule. And also, how about 3 games in also 5 days, going to Siena, and then at the MVP arena, the final contest, Iona takes on second place Peters on the road February 15th. So that will be before the MAC. That will be right before the MAC tournament starts, which is going to be the ultimate tune-up to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a schedule coming up. They got Siena, then back home from Monmouth. Then, as you said, on the road for St. Peter's, and then Fairfield. So, but they continue to play well. They should have no problems when they get to the MAC tournament. So it looks like Iona's just going to keep rolling along.
Yes.
And, Army, on the other hand, they lost the close game 69-65 to it was Holy Cross who beat them. And Army's now lost 2 consecutive Patriot League games.
Ooh. That
Holy Cross game was the second one. The first one was last week against Loyola University, my alma mater. And that was a 61-57 loss at Loyola.
In Baltimore.
Loyola won that game, and the Holy Cross beat Army 69-65 over the weekend. Jalen Rucker led Army with 11 points in the game. Oh, sorry, two guys had 11 points in the game. Rucker and Chris Mann. Aaron Duhart and Jared Cross had 9 points each. The Black Knights were unable to hold off a late push by the Holy Cross Crusaders with that 69-65 win. Actually, Army led for 27 minutes, but Holy Cross took the lead with 89 seconds remaining for the 14th and final lead change. So this was a kind of a back and forth game that ultimately Holy Cross came out on top in the end. And so tough break for Army. And up next, later this week, they're on the road at Boston University. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. In the Patriot League standings, I think Army is right in the middle of the pack.
Patriot League standings for basketball. Colgate's
on top.
Colgate's on top. See, as I'm getting up to the Patriot League standings, Colgate has won 3 in a row. They're 7-2 in the conference overall. Navy 15-8. Boston University is 16-9. They won their last game. Loyola Maryland, who Army just played, is 13-10. Lost their last game. Army has lost now 2 in a row. Lehigh 9-15. Holy Cross is 6-15. Winners of their last 3 in a row. Lafayette has won 2 in a row. American has lost 3 in a row. Bucknell is now 5-19. So the wheels there at Bucknell have really fallen off. A team with a team that has fallen well under 500 with a record have now been pushed back a little by losing their last two games in a row. Let's see. And as far as the
absolutely, and you mentioned,
yeah, Jack.
I was going to mention real quick Navy, who you brought up is in those standings there. Navy also had a game against Loyola. That was one of the interesting schedulings of this weekend. Loyola had back-to-back games Friday night against Army, and then next day it's against Navy. And Navy just barely came out on top over Loyola, 56-55. It was John Carter led midshipman with 15 points, Daniel Deaver 15. Tyler Nelson had 6, Greg Summers had 5. But it was Jalen Walker's baseline jumper with less than 13 seconds remaining that accounted for the last 3 lead changes in the final minute of the 56-55 victory for Navy. And that was actually at the Reese Arena in Loyola, at Loyola, Maryland. I've been there a couple of times, a bunch of times actually since I went there. Wow, that is a really tough loss for the Greyhounds, but a nice win for Navy. And Navy's now 15-8 overall, 8-4 in the Patriot League, and they're going to be later this week. Actually, I'm sorry, tonight. They're taking on Lafayette.
Lafayette, right? Lafayette, right?
Yeah.
Now. That's
right now. CBS, yeah.
Yeah, Lafayette's like now what 7 games under 500 at 17-4. I mean 7-4. I had said 7 games under 500. They are now 7-14. So that is a team that is struggling. Over the weekend in college, in college basketball, we had a couple of rivalry games. Duke North Carolina. Mike Krzyzewski's last visit to the Dean Smith Center. Let's see, NCAA Division I. Let's see, Division I. Let's see if I can get it up on my. Okay, Number one, Auburn got by Georgia 74-72. Number two, Gonzaga. Gonzaga and Auburn still stay at number one and number two. Auburn wins 74-72. Gonzaga defeated BYU 90-57. Number three, UCLA losing to Arizona State, triple overtime. Arizona State 87, UCLA 84. Michigan and Purdue. Michigan lost to Purdue 82-76. Kentucky, number five, defeating Alabama 66-55. Duke defeated North Carolina 87-67. And Mike Krzyzewski's last appearance at the Dean Smith Center, as we all know, he's retiring after the season.
Mm-hmm.
Duke is now 19-3 on the season, while North Carolina falls to 16-7 on the season. Oh, also as well, you've got number 12 Villanova and UConn. Villanova defeated UConn 85-74. Let's see. You've also got a lot of games on here. Oh, come on, scores. Oh yeah, just like mainly the top 25. Michigan lost to Purdue. Purdue is now 20-3 with a 82-76 win over Michigan. Kentucky 66-55 over Alabama. Kentucky is 19-14 on the season. Number 7 Arizona gets by USC 72-63. Arizona is now 19-2 on the season. USC goes to 19-4 on the season. Number 10 Kansas defeats Baylor. Kansas is now 19-3 on the season with a victory over Baylor 83-59. Duke 87-67 over North Carolina. Number 11 Wisconsin 51-49 over Penn State. Number 12 Villanova a win over UConn 85-74. Rutgers 84-63 over Michigan State. Texas Tech 60, West Virginia 53. Texas Tech is now ranked number 14 in the country. Vanderbilt 75-66 over number 25 LSU. 81-57 South Carolina 16-6. South Carolina falls to 16-9. DePaul is 69-65 victory over number 21 Xavier. Texas a 61-43 over Iowa State. Number 18 Illinois a 74-57 victory over Indiana. Texas Tech a 60-53 victory over West Virginia. Texas Tech's 18-5 on the season. Rutgers defeated Michigan State. Michigan State 17-5. Rutgers is 13-9 on the season. Jack, of those games, what do you think was your biggest takeaway from any of those games over the weekend?
Well, one team that we should really keep an eye on that keeps jumping out at me is Ken Kreitzer alma mater, Providence College.
Providence.
20-2 on the season. Ooh. Now, and nationally ranked. They're having an incredible year. They just beat Georgetown on Sunday. So definitely want to keep an eye on them. And Gonzaga is just hanging in there. They're doing, they're like right there hanging at the top with Auburn. So definitely keep an eye on them too.
Yes, Gonzaga, who made a great run who made a fantastic run to the championship game last year. Almost came away with the national championship, but unfortunately, It's only remembered as a very good season, not a great season. They lost to Baylor. Providence is having a fantastic year. I think they actually lost 3 games because of COVID protocol. Haven't skipped a beat since then. They have not skipped a beat. Defeated Georgetown actually in twice. They played Georgetown. This was their second game in the span of 6. Defeated Georgetown 83-75, and also defeated Georgetown again 71-52. Bynum was the high point man in this one with 32 points, and also the previous game was 16. Bynum was the high point man in two of these games. So watch out watch out for a team like Providence. They've been clearly on a roll since then.
Absolutely. And looking at the standings in the conference, the Big East, it looks like Providence and Villanova could both be coming out of the Big East and ending up in the NCAA tournament. Both doing pretty well. With Providence is 20 overall, 10-1 in the conference. Villanova 10-3 in the conference, 17-6 overall. And they're both of those teams doing very well, both on top. So definitely a couple of teams to keep an eye on for the NCAA tournament coming up.
Yes.
I guess in just a matter of a few weeks now.
Yes.
And
a few weeks.
Taking a look at, I think it's a couple weeks, or is it? It's usually end of February, beginning of March, I believe.
2022 NCAA. I'm looking that up right now, Jack. The 2022
okay.
NCAA tournament. The men's tournament that will begin. The first four is actually March 15th at the University of Dayton Arena in Dayton, Ohio. The 15th and the 16th of March. So that's coming up very shortly.
Indeed. And taking a look right now at Air Force basketball, they're kind of struggling a little bit. They are in the middle of, they just lost 91-77 versus New Mexico. It's actually, they're having a 3-game losing streak right now. They lost to Wyoming 63-61. And the next game after that was a 73-46, kind of a blowout win for Utah State over Air Force. And then at home against New Mexico on Saturday, it was a 91-77 win for New Mexico over Air Force. Air Force is now 10-11 in the Mountain West Conference. 10-11 overall, 3-7 in the conference. But in that game against New Mexico, Jake Heidbreeder led the team with 20 points. AJ Walker had 18, Joseph Octave 14, Camden Zweig 14 points in the game. The Falcons actually had 4 players in double figures, and as I said, the freshman Jake Heidbreeder led the team with 20 points in the game. New Mexico shot 59% from the field for the game. The Falcons actually opened the second half with an 18-8 run to get within 3 points at 51-48 with 13:51 to play. But New Mexico would pull away again, highlighted by a 9-0 run for New Mexico. So tough loss there for Air Force. 3 consecutive losses now. And if you look at that division there in the Mountain West Division, Air Force is kind of in the middle of the pack. In that division, they are ahead of Nevada, New Mexico, and San Jose State. New Mexico actually 1-8 in the division, 9-14 overall. So that was a nice win there for New Mexico over Air Force. Boise State's leading that conference, 18-5 overall, 9-1 in the conference. Wyoming 19-3 overall, 8-1 in the conference. So those two schools might be coming out of the at least Boise State could be coming out of the conference and heading to the NCAA tournament. But definitely keep an eye on those schools there.
Okay. Okay, that will be something to keep an eye on. Going over to the top 25 rankings right now in college basketball. College top 25 rankings. Auburn is number 1 with a 22-1 record. They're playing Arkansas tomorrow. Gonzaga 19-2 will be home against Pacific on Thursday. Purdue is 20-3. They're going to be taking on Illinois. Arizona and Arizona State will be a 9 o'clock game. That game will be tipping off tonight. Wednesday, Houston, who is 20-2, will be taking on SMU. That will be a 7 o'clock start. Well, also Kentucky will be taking on South Carolina. That will be a 7 o'clock start on Tuesday, February 8th. Texas Tech will be taking on Oklahoma Wednesday, February 8th at 9. Texas Tech is 18-5. Baylor is 19-4. Providence is 20-2. UCLA is 16-4. Illinois is 17-5 on the season. Wisconsin's 18-4. The Buckeyes of Ohio State are 14-5. Before that is Villanova. Michigan State is 17-5. Marquette is 16-7. Tennessee is 16-6, and also Texas is 17-6. USC is 19-4. Also, Murray State is 23rd with a 22-2 record. Connecticut's 15-6, and rounding out that top 25 is Xavier with a 16-6 record. Oh man! So those will be some standings that will be very intriguing to watch throughout the remainder of the college basketball season, and leading into the NCAA tournament. Army this week. Army will be playing Boston. That will be February 9th. And then on Saturday, it will be the Army Navy game, basketball version. Not quite as like the Army Navy game of football, but right. it is still of course is Army Navy.
Mm-hmm. And it's that Army Navy game is gonna be at West Point, so I'm sure there's gonna be a huge crowd of Army cadets there rooting on the Black Knights in that game.
Definitely. Do you know what that's a game that's going to be on CBS Sports Network, right, Jack?
I think it is, yeah.
Or CBS.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Okay. I have to look that up. I have not seen that schedule yet. Oh, I know also. I was talking about UConn earlier. UConn's actually playing St. John's Saturday. That's a 12 o'clock MSG game. Some other important games. The Texas A&M Auburn game, that will be a 12 o'clock game. That's an ESPN game. Let's see what are other games. Yeah, that's the Purdue Michigan game, which will be on Thursday. That's an ESPN game, 9 o'clock. So a lot of interesting games coming up this week.
Absolutely. And looking at the schedule for the Army women's basketball team, they lost to Holy Cross 74-54. Went for Holy Cross over the weekend. The women's team, they're sort of right in the middle of the pack right now in the Patriot League. Holy Cross is actually leading them the league right now, 9-2 in the league, 15-7 overall. Boston University right behind them, 9-2 in the league, 13-9 overall. Army's kind of right in the middle of the pack, 6-5 in the Patriot League, 12-9 overall. And Loyola Maryland all the way in the bottom, 1-10 in the Patriot League, 4-17 overall. But in that they lost to Holy Cross, Sabria Hunter led the Black Knights with 13 points in the game and actually had 11 rebounds for her 10th double-double of the season. Sam McNaughton had 12 points in the game. Elisa Fallon had 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. But Holy Cross coming out on top, and their next game is actually going to be against Boston University coming up. So both Army teams are headed to Boston. I'm taking on Boston.
Okay. So Jack, what are you gonna keep your eye on this week? Which games?
Well, definitely the Army Navy game, and we were talking about before. And actually, on Saturday, there is an Army Navy women's basketball game as well. It looks like both of those games are going to be at West Point, so that should be a fun weekend of basketball at West Point. Also, keeping an eye on some of those top 25 team. Providence, we've got to keep an eye on them. Also, Duke, since this is the last season for Coach K there. But yeah, a lot of fun basketball coming up.
Yes,
and keep an eye on Iona too. They have that game against Siena.
Of course, Iona and Siena. Iona has been they have been sizzling of late. 19-4, a team that got to the NCAA tournament last year. Hopefully, this will be another step up in the direction that they certainly want to go. Well, Jack, I thank you. I thank you for
absolutely
coming on with me. You're welcome. And this is Richard Miller for Sons of the American Legion Radio with Jack McGurk. This has been This has been our Sons of the American Legion basketball huddle. We will be back next week. Have a good night, everyone. So long. Let's see.